Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I am here to do a ginormous summer book haul. So over the past 3 months since I last did my last book haul, I have acquired like 25 books. So it's kind of a big book haul and I haven't read like 95% of them since then, but a couple I have read. But without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in and get started. So the first stack of books are the ones that I bought myself. I didn't realize until I was putting my entire haul together, I bought myself a lot of books this month, but most of them were birthday gifts, so there's one excuse. The first book that I bought for myself this month is The Sweetest Kind of Poison by Katie Wimser. Katie Wimser is actually a fellow booktuber. She's over at Kate's Book Date, and I'll link her channel down below. But this is her debut novel. It is a poetry collection, and it follows poems that she wrote herself, kind of based off of her own experiences with an unhealthy relationship. I have been following Katie since I started booktube in 2016. She's a really awesome booktuber. I was really excited to see that she put out this novel. I have been trying to get into more poetry lately, so I think this will be another good one to check out. So I'm so excited to check this out, and be sure to check out her channel as well. The next book that I bought for myself this month is a chunker, and it's actually a bind up of 3 books, and I saw this over at Reagan Over Prudes Project's channel, and that is the Night Angel Trilogy by Brent Weeks. This is adult epic fantasy, which is a genre I have never read. I've read adult high fantasy, but I have never ventured into the epic fantasy genre. But I've heard so many good things about this author in general, I figured I would check it out for myself. Like I said, it's adult epic fantasy and it involves an assassin. So I know Reagan, when she talks about this author in general, she tends to talk more about his other series, the Prism series, which does interest me, but this sounds more up my alley. I know she wasn't the biggest fan of this one, but I think nevertheless I might really enjoy it. The next book, or next 2 books I should say, I picked up this month were technically part of the same series, but they are 2 different editions. And the first one of those is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. This is the US 20th anniversary edition, and it is stunning. This cover is beautiful, and when these books are all put side by side in their box set, the spines all line up, as well as the cover makes one complete mural, and I think it looks so beautiful. I do plan on collecting all 7 books and these editions eventually. If you guys don't know, which I'm sure most of you guys do, Harry Potter is my favorite series of all time. This is my 6th copy of the Sorcerer's Stone, so I think I might have a problem, but I love these books so much that I will collect every edition they come in, so I'm excited to have this one. The next Harry Potter book, and the only other Harry Potter book I bought in these past few months, is the 20th anniversary edition of the Chamber of Secrets. This is the UK edition. This came out in June. I have the 20th anniversary edition of the Sorcerer's Stone, and I love these editions so much. Will I ever read them in these particular editions? I'm not quite sure, but I love them nevertheless. I am a Slytherin, so of course I got the Slytherin editions, and it is a beautiful shade of emerald green with silver lettering. So this is what it looks like on the front, and on the spine, or on the side I should say, it's sprayed green and white for the Slytherin colors, and on the back it just has the same design as the front on it, and says Slytherin. So it's also really cool on the inside because it has facts about the house that you might have not known before. So you have a picture of the house founder, Salazar Slytherin. It has the map of Hogwarts. It has a bunch of really awesome stuff in the inside, and I just love these editions. I will be collecting pretty much any edition of Harry Potter I can get my hands on at this point, so awesome to have this to my collection. The next book that I got this month was one I have honestly been looking for 2 years now, maybe 3, and that is The Boy with the Thorn in His Side, written by Pete Wentz. Now, if you guys don't know, Pete Wentz wrote my favorite book of all time, Grey, and I have been looking for this book forever, since I read Grey the first time in 2015. If you want to hear the story about why Grey is my favorite book of all time, I'll link my video I did on it in the cards for you guys. But this one is actually his first novel. This came out in 2005. It is kind of autobiographical. It is surrounding the short stories that Pete wrote, kind of about the nightmares he had as a child, and they're put into this really tiny books. It's just over 100 pages long, so I could read this in like one sitting. It does have some illustrations in it, so let me find one of those. So that's some of the illustrations, and it's honestly such a gem. I was surprised I could find this on Amazon for nothing more than, it was like 28 bucks. So, a gem. I can't wait to read it. And the last two books I bought were kind of impulse buys. The first one of those is because it's been my favorite author of all time, and that is Catwoman Soulstealer by Sarah J. Maas. Sarah J. Maas, like I just said, is my favorite author of all time, and this is her newest release. It is not set in the Agatar or Throne of Glass world. This is part of the DC Icons series, which I've only read the first book of, which was Wonder Woman Warbringer, but I loved it when I read it last year. So I am eagerly anticipating picking up this book. I don't know much about Catwoman in general. I don't really know too much about the superheroes featured in the series at all. I'm not very attached to these superhero movies or anything, but what I do know about Catwoman is kind of the stuff I knew growing up. So I'm really excited to read this. I have heard some really good things about it so far, so of course I think I'm gonna love it, because Sarah J. Maas, in my opinion, can do no wrong. Say what you will about her books, but I think in general she's a fantastic author. Can't wait to pick it up. And the last book that I bought for myself this month is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is a book I have seen floating around BookTube in the channels who read more of the adult high fantasy, and it just seems really interesting. This is adult high fantasy, and it follows a world that's Asian inspired. I want to say it's inspired by Japan. I could be wrong. You guys can correct me in the comments if I am. But it follows our main character, who is going to this school to be, I want to say, an assassin or a soldier. Yeah, a soldier. So it follows that, and I love anything that tends to be inspired by Asian culture. It's always something that's interested me throughout my entire life, and I cannot wait to read this, because again, I've heard raving reviews about it, and I'm sure it's gonna be good. So those are all the books that I bought myself this month. Now I'm going to move on to the books that were sent to me in subscription boxes this month. As most of you guys know, I am an Owl Crate subscriber, so both these came in the July and August boxes. The book that came in the July box was My Plain Jane by Cynthia Han, Birdie Ashton, and Jody Meadows. This is one that is the second book in the Lady Janie's series. The first one of those is My Lady Jane. I haven't read the first book, but I heard you don't have to read them in chronological order. The first book was a retelling of Lady Jane Grey, and then this book is a retelling of Jane Eyre. I have read the original Jane Eyre works. I read that back in March. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I have read one other retelling of it since then. I really enjoyed it, so I'm excited to pick it up. This one has paranormal aspects, I want to say, but it, I guess, stays to the original storyline pretty well, so really interested to pick this up. And the other book that was sent to me in the Owl Crate box was the August book, and that is Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart. This cover is stunning. Can we just talk about this cover? Oh my god. So this is a YA dystopian book, and all I really know about this book is that it is following a world where women have no rights. So that was like, sign me up. Besides having a gorgeous color, the premise just sounds really interesting. In a world where women have no rights. Okay, so can't wait to pick that. So the last stack of books is the biggest stack by far, and it is a stack of books that I got from my aunt. My aunt was giving away some books that her daughter had left behind when she moved out, and she asked me if I wanted some, and I said, sign me up, even though I haven't read like 90% of these ones as well. So the first 7 or 6 books, I should say, are in pretty much completed the series. I'm only missing one book, and that is the entire Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. This is a series I never read as a kid, never really interested me, but now that I am an adult and I want to get into middle grade and children's fiction, I think this will be a really good one to pick up. I know a lot of people were reading it in like 2016, so maybe I should finally pick it up. So in order of the books, the first book is The Magician's Nephew. The second book is probably the most famous of all. That is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Then we have book 3 is the one I am missing. Then we have book 4, Prince Caspian. Book 5, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Book 6 is The Silver Chair, and book 7 is The Last Battle. So I really do want to get to these very, very soon. How soon is that going to be? I honestly don't know. I actually do have a box set of the series in my basement, but I'm missing the first book, so we'll have to see if I can still pick these up. Anyways, so the next stack of books is also a completed series, and a very well-known series at that. So that is the entire A Game of Thrones, or A Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. So in order of books, the first book is A Game of Thrones, the second book is A Clash of Kings, the third book is A Storm of Swords, book 4 is A Feast for Crows, and finally book 5 is A Dance with Dragons. So this is adult epic fantasy as well, and it's a series I have actually started. I started the first book, A Game of Thrones, in August of last year. I read it 4-time Topple, but I didn't finish it, but I did really like what I had read, and I have started the TV show as well. I watched the first 3 episodes, I want to say, and I did really like that as well. So I do want to read the books before I watch the show, or at least give them a try and then decide from there if I want to continue the series or just watch it on TV. So really excited to have those. 2 books are like the only 2 books out of this entire haul I actually have read. The first book is Legend by Marie Lu. This is the first book in the Legend trilogy, which is one of my favorite series of all time. I have a full series review of it. I will link it in the cards as well. But this is a classic YA dystopian series. It follows 2 main characters, June and Day. June is a military prodigy, and Jay is the most feared criminal in all of the land, and they live in this new futuristic world called the New Republic. And one day, June's brother is murdered, and Day is ultimately to blame for it. However, their paths cross, and it all takes off from there. It is a series that will make you laugh, cry, want you to throw the book out the window. I love this series so much, and I believe there is a movie adaptation coming out in the near future, so I do want to reread this before that comes out. I am so excited to have this book. You guys have no idea. And the other book that I actually have read is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Book 2, The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. I read this series in 2016. Again, another one of my absolute favorites. I don't own the first book, but I do want to get that as well. And this is actually the exact editions I wanted to get. The sides make a picture of, I believe it's Atlantis. I'll insert a cover picture right here. But super excited. I need to reread the Percy Jackson series because it stole my heart in 2016, and I just want to reread it so bad. So excited to have this as well. So the next book I have to talk about today is a really exciting one, and it is Star Wars A New Hope, The Princess, the Scoundrel, and the Farm Boy by Alexander Bracken. This is a Star Wars novel, as you guys can tell by the title and the cover. I am a huge Star Wars fan. I've been a Star Wars fan for like the past 10 years. And what I am getting from the synopsis of this book is that it is the original story from A New Hope, which was the original first Star Wars movie that came out in 1977, kind of told from Princess Leia's point of view. I could be messing that up completely, so I apologize if I am, but I have read books by Alexandra Bracken in the past. I read The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redi by her last September and really enjoyed it. I have been meaning to pick up The Darkest Minds since the movie came out, and I actually really enjoyed the movie. So I have a feeling I'm going to love this book because it's Star Wars, and I love Alexandra Bracken's writing style, so really excited to pick this up. The next book I picked up from my aunt is another really interesting one, and it is Room by Emma Donoghue. This is a psychological thriller. I can kind of put that lightly, but it's a story that follows a young boy. His name is Jack. He's only 5 years old, and he has lived his entire life in this room with his mother. And when his mother was younger, I want to say, she was captured and has been held kidnapped in this room, and she has had this son, and they are trying to escape. This was recently turned into a movie. I want to say it was last year. I could be wrong on that as well, but this is one of the most popular psychological thrillers I have seen around BookTube since I started in 2016. So I have a feeling I'm either going to really, really like this or not be able to connect with the story at all, but I do want to give it a try. The last book that I have in this ginormous book haul is one I know pretty much nothing about, but is Midnight Blue by Pauline Fisk, and this is what it looks like. I honestly know nothing about this. I believe it's middle grade. It is fantasy, and the blurb on the front is by Madeleine L'Engle, I hope I said that right, who wrote the Wrinkle in Time series, and it says, one of the most exciting fantasies I've read in a long time. So that gives me hope and I think this cover is also really pretty, so we'll have to see what I think about it when I read it. And that is everything I would have for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below what books you picked up this month, as I would love to know. And as always, all my social media links along with Katie's channel will be linked down below for you guys to go check out if you have not already. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye!